Before I read this, I have to point out I'm an atheist, but I am literally about to bring up the fucking Bible. One of the things that there are a few things that religions do that I agree with. There are a lot of things that religions say and do about certain things and aspects of life that I absolutely agree with. Bible W, yeah. And one of the things is like, this is why Jesus is the man, right? Is because Jesus told us about the people who pray in public. Now, if you don't know what that means and what that has to do with, essentially what it is that people who pray in public, instead of at home in their closet alone, they're praying in public because they want to be seen praying. They want to be seen as holy. They want to be seen that they are good people. And so they are making a show of having devotion to God and worshiping God instead of being actually worshipful and actual true devotion. Because if it were true devotion, then you would do it alone in your house because it's between you and God, right? And you don't need to show anybody if you're doing the right thing, right? And so a classic lesson, exactly. And so basically what it means is basically, I want you to understand this. Jesus was bitching about virtue signaling 2,000 years ago. 2,000 years ago, that man was bitching about virtue signaling. And I guarantee you, there were civilizations before him doing the same exact shit. And you know they were. You fucking know they were. Amen. I tell you, they already have gotten the reward. Yes. And so the point of this is not about prayer or devotion to God or any of that other nonsense. You pull all of that stuff away. It is essentially a criticism of people who go out in public and they go out in public and they make a big display about how much of a good person they are. And that is what virtue signaling is. And that is what we are dealing with today in our society. You have people on both teams, right? But it's been far more prevalent on the left for a long time. I mean, to be fair, it's always been prevalent on both sides because everybody virtue signals in some form or fashion. Even I do it. But it's been a real, the term virtue signaling really does come from the left, or excuse me, blue team with their, what is it? With their basically public, like when they record themselves screaming into a phone about how much they hate Trump, they do this for everybody to see how much of a good person they are, right? And then you have all these luxury beliefs that they have that they never actually have to pay for, right? Like mass immigration. None of the people who are really for mass immigration are going to live anywhere near the mass immigrants, right? They're only going to get the cream of the crop that come and clean their toilets and mow their lawns and do their landscaping. Yes, Jesus says don't be a performative bitch. You are absolutely correct. 100%. And so, you got to give, when somebody says something that I think is good, I give them props. It doesn't matter who the fuck they are. It doesn't matter what the fuck they do. If they say something that makes sense, I'm going to give them credit for it. It's that simple. I'm going to admit when I'm wrong. I'm going to try to do all those things. What the fuck ever. The point that I'm trying to, the reason I'm bringing this up is because of this post. Leftist influencers use politics to look good, not do good. This is true. But the problem is that it's not just leftist influencers. It's also red team influencers. I know so many motherfuckers who post all fucking day long on X about all kinds of stupid shit, but they never actually do anything about the things they talk about. They talk, especially in the red pill space, dude. Essentially, the red pill space is luxury beliefs, virtue signaling for fucking men. It's what it's turned into anyway, because it used to be more of a we need to be red pilled on feminism. It's a destructive force. It's basically communism disguised as racial politics, right? But it's morphed into fucking Andrew Tate worship, and I cannot, dude. I cannot. And all the toxic shit about men should lead and all this other stupid shit. It's like, it's not that men should lead. It's not that men shouldn't lead or any of that other nonsense. It's that the way they talk about it is that essentially women should be completely submissive to men in all things, right? And go back into the fucking kitchen. A lot of them are like that. And it's like, that's not really how it is. Like, Not So Erudite had a debate recently. Adam and Sitch covered it. With Devo, in fact. Short Fat Otaku, good man. So is Adam and Sitch, in fact. Where they did an episode where they essentially go over where this dude is talking about they're debating not so erudite about how. I realized I just went on a long ass tangent that I didn't need to. Anyway, the debate basically exposes that a lot of the red pill dudes really do think the most toxic shit about these kinds of deals. Because I am 100% in agreement that by default, men lead and women submit to authority. True, but men also submit to authority. I submitted to authority when I joined the military. I submitted to authority on a daily basis when I was given orders to do things. Submitting to authority is not a bad thing. Submitting to authority is what you do to have a fucking civilization. All people do it. Men in particular. Every single man on this, or excuse me, in our country and on this planet submits to some type of authority, right? Unless they're an actual dictator, like a true dictator, right? Does King George, does he not submit to authority? Yes, he does. He absolutely does. Even though he's a king, but it's because they're a constitutional monarchy, right? So the actual government has a lot of power, even though he technically forms the government, even though technically Canada is still part of like all of that shit. None of that shit matters. It's all tradition. You're going to be a macho man fuckboy and drown in pussy. Hate that shit. You are denying yourself quality relationships. Exactly. And that's another thing is trying to bang as many women as possible and be like some type of alpha male shit. And it's like, yeah, that's all fucking retarded, dude. That's not what in my opinion, that's not anything to do with alpha male. That has to do with insecure men who think that alpha male is all about dominating. When a true alpha male is an actual true leader who will try to benefit his tribe the most by uplifting those who will uplift everybody else. Right? So the true alpha male is not the dude who dominates everybody. The true alpha male is the guy who can lead the hunting party to a successful kill by, gathering the best men who know what the fuck they're doing around him and giving them the ability to show themselves for who they are, right? That is what a true leader, a true human alpha male is, right? So we got on the red pill shit. Yeah. Anyway, the quiet guy in the bar is the one to be scared of. Yeah, it depends. It depends. But yeah, it is a saying like that. Yeah, the guy who doesn't boast is the guy you need to be afraid of. This is 100% true. But the reason we got on all of this is because I was making the point that even on the right, you have people who do exactly this kind of thing. They do politics to look good, not do good. Period. That's what it is. So let's listen. Destiny talks pretty fast, but you guys should be able to keep up. I have to listen to it faster than normal because my brain can't handle it.
I just keep coming back to this of like people that want to like look
All right, I need to turn it up apparently.
good and not do good, and this is.
Is everybody kind of gone, or what is the?
Well, we're not inviting any of these people back. I just keep coming back to this of like people that want to like look good and not do good, and this is a really big problem that I found in the influencer space specifically. I thought that people that post political content care about politics, and that's just not true.
In my mind, politics is for power. Like your goal for political anything is to leverage it to gain some kind of political power, so that you can enforce your political will on whatever society. Right? And democracy do this with votes. Monarchies do this with last names.
That sounded really close to a Starship Troopers quote. Just gonna say that.
Dictatorships do this with guns, whatever. And you get into this weird world where politics is also like a very sexy aesthetic because it's politics. It's important. It has to be. It's politics. It's literally the most.
Okay, he talks way too fast. I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit. I'm gonna back it up.
So that you can enforce your political will on whatever society, right? And democracy do this with votes, monarchies do this with last name, dictatorships do this with guns, whatever. And you get into this weird world where politics is also like a very sexy aesthetic because it's politics. It's important. It has to be. It's politics. It's literally the most important stuff ever. So you get to talk about it and feel important. But sometimes it feels like, at least, I don't know why this is, but on the left, it feels like there's not as much of a goal with acquisition of political power as much as there is kind of like wielding that aesthetic to make money. You get all these right-wing political influencers that are also working on all these political projects. You've got Ben Shapiro and all the Daily Wire and their movies, Charlie Kirk, who is like infecting the mind of every college boy in the United States. You've got your Nick Fuenteses who are doing their own like alt-right movements. Like everybody just seems to be working so hard on it. And then on the left, you have these guys, your Hassans, your Vashes, these people that are making big 7, maybe even 8-figure annual incomes that do absolutely nothing with it. Or the little bit that they do is aimed at just countering the Democratic Party. Where's Antifa at? They were all over in 2016, and now in 2024, when it's like actual fascism, they're completely gone. And it's like those pro-Palestine protests were happening last year. They must be going on huge this year. And I'm looking around, I'm like, where the fuck are they at? Like Netanyahu is talking about actually ethnically cleansing the entire Gaza Strip.
He actually is doing that, by the way.
they're going to move in and take over the whole fucking thing again. Where are these people at? They're like not to be found anywhere because, like you said, you're trying to find people in the space. Like, okay, well, who wants to do things to exercise political power? And it's like, well, if I can get good clips on my YouTube and everything, maybe I'll kind of like tag along. But nobody seems to care much about the actual votes or anything. And they supposedly they share the same political label as you, but it seems like they're not really on the same page in terms of exercising that political power.
Well, it is one of those things. It's like, here's the thing, though. If you believe actual fascists have taken over your government, there's only one thing to do. You're not going to be able to vote them out. So, I got to say is I don't believe you. If you say that actual fascism is here and you're not doing the thing that actual fascism requires, I'm not sure I believe you. Right? I don't. Anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to, because this is definitely something, he's not wrong. And he makes specific things about the left in this that I feel are true. But he does bring up a lot of right-wing influencers who do a lot of stuff. But like I said at the beginning of this, there are a lot of right-wing, red team people who do exactly the same shit. Where all they want to do, all the debates they do, all the stuff like that, all they want to do is just look good. That's it. There's nothing more than that. And one of the best examples of this is the not so erudite debate with this asshole.
Like, I have no idea
I asked you if you could.
With this asshole right here. I highly recommend it. Not so erudite is pretty awesome. She's very articulate. I like the way she talks. Obviously, I don't agree with everything she says. Also, I love the cups. These are great. Those are clear, aren't they? Are those clear plastic cups with the fucking 80s slash thing on it? That's pretty cool. I didn't notice that. Anyway, but yeah, this asshole right here. This asshole right here. This is the kind of guy that Destiny is talking about. And I highly recommend you watch this. I'm probably
define Israel.
We're not gonna watch any of this because I would have the clips are ridiculous, but I don't have any on hand right now. But this is the debate. Sam Hyde rages over women's rights. Absolutely. Like, one of the arguments that she's trying to make is that women should be allowed to enter the workforce because, as a just pragmatic view of the world, when you're all of your population is actualized, you benefit, right? Your gross domestic product goes up, productivity goes up, all these things. So if you take half the population, which are female, and you don't allow them to do anything more than just basic bitch grunt work like cleaning toilets or babysitting, then what you've done is you've taken the few geniuses that are in the female pool, and you've excluded them from all of the good stuff in life. Not just the ability to acquire power, but the ability to uplift the rest of humanity, right? Like, there aren't that many crazy discoveries made by women, but there are enough to where we know that denying people the ability to enter the especially the more prestigious workforces like science and government and all these other things will be detrimental to them to us to not have as much of the population able to be able to acquire those positions, right? So not only do you have the few female geniuses, but there's also all kinds of other delineating factors, right? You have just work ethic and all these other things. So how many of these systems and how many of these things in our society could be improved if we allowed the entirety of our population the opportunity to pursue those things, right? But if you take half of your fucking population and you deny them that opportunity, you're denying your entire civilization the benefits of what they would offer,